Hi dear friends, in this session we are going to discuss about PERT and CPM techniques, an introduction part. PERT stands for Program Evaluation Review Technique and the CPM stands for Critical Path Method. These techniques are considered as modern project management tools or techniques. These are the learning objectives of this session. After this session, you should be able to understand the basic concept of PERT and CPM, define the key terms of PERT and CPM, draw or build simple network diagrams. Coming to the introduction of PERT and CPM, combination of the interrelated activities that are to be executed or performed in a certain logical sequence or order is defined as a project. A project is a group of tasks that are to be performed or executed in a logical sequence, we can say. The activities are interrelated in a logical sequence in such a way that few activities cannot be started until few other activities are completed. For example, if you take construction of a building, no? So unless you complete foundation, no? So you cannot go for construction of wall. Similarly, unless you complete wall construction, you cannot go for roofing. So like that, there will be logical sequence in such a way that few activities cannot be started until few other activities are completed in a project. Of course, project is a group or combination of the interrelated activities so that are to be executed in a certain sequence. Growing complexities of the modern projects have demanded more systematic and effective planning techniques with the objective of optimizing the efficiency of executing a project. So modern complexities are plenty. I mean, earlier bar charts and Gantt charts were in use in the project management field. But due to the growing complexities of the modern projects, so they have demanded more systematic and effective planning techniques with the objective or in the direction of optimizing the efficiency of executing the project. Efficiency in this context refers reduction of the time and cost required to complete a project using the available resources. Again, it is like optimization technique only, of course. Fine. PERT and CPM are the optimization techniques, so which are used to optimize the or reduce the time and cost that are required to complete a project using the available resources. Project management has developed as a new field with the development of two analytic techniques or tools for planning, scheduling and controlling of the projects. These are program evaluation and review technique, popularly known as PERT, and the other one is critical path method, that is CPM. So earlier bar charts, Gantt charts or some other graphical representations are replaced with these analytic tools or techniques to handle the modern projects, I can say. Fine. These methods are basically network oriented techniques using the same principle and are time oriented methods. PERT and CPM techniques are treated as twins and are related to sequencing problems which are concerned with the minimization of the total completion of time of a project and of course the overall cost also. The basic concept or the basic outline of PERT and CPM is to optimize the cost and time, overall cost or overall time required to execute a project, and these are treated as twins in the sense, so the concept is more or less same, but depending upon the nature of the data, so a particular technique may be used. Either PERT or CPM will be used depending upon the nature or type of the problem. So that we are going to discuss in the later stage. Basic steps of PERT and CPM. PERT and CPM consists of the three basic steps or functions or phases, we can say. They are planning, scheduling, controlling. Planning is nothing but dividing the project into the various activities, we can say. So this stage is initiated by breaking down the project into the different activities. Knowing their time estimates, the network is built or constructed, the planning stage. Scheduling. The objective of scheduling phase is to construct a time chart showing the starting and ending or completion time of the activity with the relationship to other activities of the project. For example, if an activity A, so what is the start time? What is the completion time? What is its relationship with other activities involved in the project? That is nothing but scheduling. Okay. For example, construction of wall, if you take construction of wall. So when it will start, when it will complete. So to construct wall, what is the prerequisite? I mean, what is the predecessor activity? After construction of wall, what is to be done or what activity should be taken up? Like that. So scheduling refers starting and ending time or completion time of the activity with the relationship of the other activities in the project. Fine. Then the final step is controlling. This step involves making the periodic progress reports, whether you are going according to your planning or scheduling. So it will check like this stage or this step. The network may be updated and analyzed to control the project. If necessary, a new schedule may be determined for the remaining portion of the project, whether it is happening as per your planning or scheduling. So will be checked by this step or this phase. Fine. So the step involves making the periodic progress reports, whether it is happening as per your planning or not. If necessary, a new schedule is determined for remaining portion of the project. Coming to the applications of PERT and CPM. So as discussed, in a nutshell, these are used to optimize the time and cost. Coming to the specific areas, PERT and CPM are extensively used to solve the phenomenal problems such as those connected with the missiles and space travel. They are also used in the field of project management to optimize or to minimize the time and cost. These methods have been applied to a variety of problems in the industries and have found acceptance even in the government organizations. Few applications of the PERT and CPM known as project management techniques are construction of a multi-storied building or a super highway, construction of a reservoir, maintenance or overhaul of an aeroplane, research and development field, control of traffic flow, because basically these are network or flow diagrams, no? Control of traffic flow in metropolitan cities, and in general these are used for cost control of any project. And coming to the key terminology of PERT and CPM, so to understand some basic terms associated with the PERT and CPM or project management techniques, first thing is activity. While defining the project, so I told project is a group of activities. Then what is activity? Activity is nothing but a task which consumes some kind of resource. So it is a job that requires or a task that requires time and resource for its completion. Node. Node is also called as event. It is the starting or ending of an activity. It doesn't require any resource. It's just representation of starting or ending, represented by a circle in general. The node that indicates starting of an activity is known as a tail node. The node that indicates ending of an activity is known as a head node. We'll see this in the network diagrams. Dummy activity. Sometimes we have to use some activities called as dummy activities, which does not consume any resource. Is one which does not consume any resource like time or cost. These are represented by dotted lines. The main purpose of introducing a dummy activity is to maintain the network in a logical order or symmetry. Network. Network or network diagram. It is the representation of a project giving the interrelationship. Interrelationship is nothing but some logical order, fine, between the activities. It consists of both the events and activities. Event means node, okay. Activity means is a task which requires time. Network diagrams are also known as arrow diagrams or flow diagrams. Network diagram or network is representation of a project following the logical order or interrelationship between the activities. It consists of both event. Event is nothing but the node and activities. Network diagrams, also known as arrow diagrams or flow diagrams. Predecessor activity. Activity is nothing but a job that requires time. No, predecessor means by name itself, no, the activity which should happen before some activity. It is an activity that must be completed immediately prior to the start of another activity. So let us take the same old example. For example, construction of a building you take. Fine. So construction of a building involves three main stages: foundation, construction of wall, and roofing. Fine. So then for construction of wall, what is the predecessor activity? Foundation. I mean, unless there is foundation, you cannot go for construction of wall, no? So what I can say is, for construction of wall, foundation is the predecessor activity. Okay. Or to go for PUC, for example, 10+2 or PUC, what is the predecessor activity? You must have completed 10th standard. So 10th standard is the predecessor course for the 10+2 or PUC. It is an activity that must be completed immediately prior to the start of another activity. By name itself, we can say predecessor, which should happen prior. Fine. Then successor. So it is an activity that cannot be started until one or more activities are completed, but which immediately succeeds them. Okay, if you take the same old example, after construction of the wall, no, the successor activity is roofing, let us say. Or after completion of a PU course or 10+2 course, maybe going for engineering, MBBS or degree course. So that is the successor course. Successor course means which happens after some course. Like for example, so building this one, if you take, construction of the wall is the predecessor and the successor is roofing. Like now if you take the logical sequence of foundation, construction of wall and roofing, no? So you will understand in a simple way. Fine. Construction of wall, no, is the predecessor activity and as well as successor activity to some other activities. Predecessor activity for what? Roofing. Okay. Successor activity for what? For foundation. Like that is in between activity which will become predecessor as well as successor activity for some other activity. Concurrent activity, activities that can be performed simultaneously, no, are known as concurrent activity. Some of the activities, for example, if you take the construction itself, so some activities, painting also may be going on and some other decoration or interior work also will be going on, let us say. They are the concurrent activities. Path. It is an unbroken chain of activity arrows connecting the initial event to other events. It is like, flow. So moving from left to right. So in the project is nothing but the path. Connecting the activities is nothing but the path, we can say. All this you will see in a network diagram. Critical path. It is the longest path in a network from the start of the event to the end, and it defines the minimum time required to complete the project. This will take up in detail probably in the next session. So critical path is the longest path in the network which takes or which defines the minimum time required to complete the project. Of course, basically it is a path only. It is a critical path which defines the minimum time required to complete the project. And the last but one is burst event. It is an event or activity. It is not an activity. It is an event or node from where two or more activities are started. Usually, the first event or first node is called the burst node. Merge event or merge node. It is an event in which all the activities are going to terminate. Usually, the last event or last node is considered as merge event. So the following diagrams represent these two, burst event and merge event. For example, this is the merge event. Like merge event means event is represented by a circle, as I have told. So many activities are terminating with this one. Hence it is merge. Okay, it's like junction. Junction in the sense all routes are coming to this circle. Like, so what is this? Merge event. Many activities are merging here. This is the burst event or burst node, we can say. Event and node, they are one and same. So many activities are emerging or starting from this event. Hence it is called burst. It's going to burst like a balloon, something like. So this is the burst, this is the merge. Fine. There are some rules known as Fulkerson's IJ rule for labeling the network, numbering the network. They are very simple. So let us see what they are. For a network representation, it is necessary that various nodes should be properly labeled or numbered for the convenience labeling of a network diagram. A standard procedure called IJ rule developed by Dr. Fulkerson is most commonly used for this purpose. So there are steps involved in IJ rule. A start event is the one which has arrows emerging, that is outgoing from it with no incoming arrows. Find the start event or node and number it as 1, it says. So you have to start with node numbering 1. You have to put a circle. So you have to start that as unity or 1, from where you have to start other activities. That's the meaning of this. Delete all the arrows emerging from the numbered events. This will create at least one new start event or node out of the preceding events. This will see with a numerical. Fine. Number all the new starts, that new start events or nodes 2, 3 and so on. So I mean you have to number 2, 3, 4 like that. The circles are the nodes. Continue the procedure repeating the steps 2 and 3 until the end is reached. Fine. Let us see some guidelines also for constructing a network diagram. This Fulkerson's IJ rule and the guidelines we are going to use in the construction or building of a network, that we'll see with an illustration or an example. Represent the arrows or activities in straight lines and avoid the curved. You are not supposed to use the curved lines to represent the tasks or activities. No event can start until all the preceding activities have been completed. An event cannot occur twice. Number the events in the ascending order from left to right. Use the alphabets to denote the activity, drawn by arrows, of course. Indicate the duration in the days or weeks or months above the arrows. Length of an arrow need not be to the actual scale. It is only the proportional diagram. We are discussing about construction of network diagram. No? These are few guidelines that you have to follow. Use the dummy activities only when necessary. Dummy activities are nothing but the activities which doesn't require the resource. Fine. Arrow lines may be inclined when the activities are parallel or concurrent. They should be straight, of course. They are not supposed to be curved lines, but they may be inclined when they are parallel or concurrent. One simple example shows all these things. The Fulkerson's IJ rule as well as guidelines for constructing the network diagram. See, all these two slides, that is Fulkerson's IJ rule and guidelines have been followed in this. So node numbering, Fulkerson's IJ rule, what it says, first node should be numbered as unity or 1. Okay. So then straight lines, you are supposed to use the straight line. Okay. It is a simple network. Okay, so where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, this is supposed to be 6, sorry, 6 and 7, there the events are nodes. Events are nodes, whereas A, B, C, D, E, F, G, no, they are the activities, you please note. Fine. Now all these have been followed. Okay. So these are the straight and okay, as per the last point, arrow lines may be inclined when they are concurrent activities. For example, B and C, they are the concurrent activities. Hence, they are drawn with slope lines. D and D are also concurrent activities. So hence, slope lines. Nowhere curve is used. Okay. An event cannot occur twice. I mean, node numbering should not be repeated. Number the events in the ascending order. All these are very simple. Same thing have been followed here. So ascending means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Randomly you are not supposed to name. Length of an arrow need not be to the actual scale. For example, this and this. So for example, this is 10, this is 20. So you can represent like this only. Just it is a proportional diagram, need not be to the original or actual scale. So dummies and all will discuss in the later stage. Okay, dummy, okay, if it is necessary only, for example, if it is hanging, a network is hanging, I mean if a node is hanging, just to support, no, we can use the dummy. Okay, so arrows, length, all these things we have discussed, and this is the activity time task. So of course you can represent the time or duration also. So above the activity, that is A, B, C or something like, no, or inside the bracket also you can represent like. So let us take two simple examples of building or constructing a network. An automobile company manufacturing two-wheelers has decided to come up with a new vehicle specially designed for the women. The project involves several activities listed below. So there are A to G activities, A, B, C, D, E, and description predecessor activities given are okay. Description is studying the design of existing two-wheelers, design of the new two-wheeler, design the marketing program, design new production system, select advertising media, test prototype, releasing new two-wheeler to the market. Right from study to release, there are different activities, and predecessor activities or relationship is also given. I mean, before A, no activity is there. That is the starting activity. Before B, okay, A, something logical relationship is given. So what is the meaning of this? After this only this should happen. After A, B should take place. So after A, C should take place. B, C. After C, E should take place. And after completion of D, E only, F should happen. After F, G should take place. So like that, there is the logical relationship. If everything happens in the straight line, no. So what it will happen? It will take more time. So that is the reason why you are going to construct the network or arrow diagram to optimize or to make the project compact, no. We are going to optimize, I mean we are going to build the network. Let us see that. See, if everything is taken in series, no doubt, okay, you can complete the project, but it will take more time and more cost also. This is the problem. So what is the solution? Let us see. Coming to the solution, the network diagram for the given activities is, so before A, any activity is there? No. That's why A is started. So B and C, no. So you can plan B and C. What is B? Design of two-wheeler as well as design the marketing program. So these two are independent departments, no. Design of the new two-wheeler, it is a design department, it is marketing department. Hence simultaneously you can take B, C, and D, E also you can take parallelly or concurrently. Design the new production system, select advertising media. So production system is different, advertising media is different. Hence they are independent and concurrently, I mean there is no logical relationship here. Logical relationship means there is no interdependency of the activities. So you can simultaneously carry them. Fine. So it is not that, okay, you have to complete this task to take up that task or something like in this case. That is in case of D and E. That's why you made them as parallel or concurrent. And of course F and G, it is given after C something should happen. Let us see the comments or observations also. The activity A doesn't have any predecessor activity. Do you agree? Hence it is started. The activities B, C and D, E are the parallel or concurrent activities. You can take them independently by the data. So B, C, D, E, they are the concurrent activities. They belong to the different departments. They are no way connected or there is no interdependency of these activities. F and G are the activities in the series. Fine. F and G. The activity F should start only after completion of D and E. Please note this. So the activity F should start. Here you can see F should start testing the prototype should start only after completion of D comma E. So for that what you have done is D comma E after completion of D and E, I mean they are going to end with a common node 5, then only you are going to take F here. So please make it a 6, 5, 6, 7. This is 3, of course 5, 6 and it should be 7. Fine. There is a typographical mistake. 5, 6 and 7. It's not same number. Okay, what I'm trying to say is there is no predecessor activity for A. B comma C can be taken simultaneously. D comma E simultaneously can be taken. And as per the logical relation, only after completion of D comma E, F should happen. That's what is happening. After D comma E, they are terminating with a common node F. And after F, G you can take. So that's what the activity F should be only after completion of D and E. Hence D and E are terminated with a common node to avoid the use of the dummy activity to have the compact network, we can say. So of course, so you can have what? Different number for this, and you can connect with the dummy node also. That, I mean, the network will become very huge or bulky. To avoid that, what you have done is, when there are two predecessor activities, you can terminate with a common node so that you can minimize the usage of dummy, or you can minimize the size of the network, we can say. See, this and this, they are terminated with a common node or event. Fine. Now, okay, so you can take parallelly also after A, B, after B, C, after C, D, E, F, G. So what will happen? It will take more time. Whereas if these two are happening, for example, if this is taking 10 days, if this is taking 10 days, you please try to understand the power of the concurrent activities. I mean, the concept of concurrent activities. So then the duration will be 10 days only. Whereas if you take them separately, this is 10 days and this is 10 days, 20 days if you take them in series. Whereas if you take them concurrently, so 10, 10, or whichever is more. For example, if it takes 10 days, if it takes 15 days, 15 days is the project duration. By 15 days, even this activity also will be completed. That is the meaning of taking the activities parallelly or concurrently, or network diagram. The meaning of network diagram. See, it is flow diagram or arrow diagram or network diagram, because you're going to use the networks, network shape or arrows or flow. We are flowing from left to right or something like. Fine. Let us take one more simple numerical. Following are the activities to be performed for a building site operation. Determine the precedence relationship and draw the network. Like clear the site, survey the layout, rough grading. So all this, okay, construction related. Okay, electric manholes, install sewer and backfill. So install electric manholes, construct boundary wall and all. Fine. It is of course a higher end example. Based on the list of the activities, you can conclude the following precedence relationship. B succeeds A and C. B succeeds A. What is the meaning of this? So to take place B, to start B, A should happen. C succeeds B. So you can put mathematically also like this. B is greater than A. What is the meaning of this is B should happen before A. C should happen, B should happen after A. C should happen after B. Like that is the meaning. Sometimes it will be given like this also. B is greater than A means A should happen first, then B. B should happen first, then C. Like that it is. D and E starts together after completion of C. D and E, for example here. So these two can be taken simultaneously. You can decide that based on the nature of the work. So D and E starts together after completion of C. After C, rough grading, these two you can take simultaneously. So based on the concept. Fine. Then F will follow D. After F, F will follow D. After completion of D, you can take F, and G will follow E. G will follow E. After E, G will take place. H can start after C, H. H can start after C, we can say. H can start after C. Where is C? So H should start only after C. So just to use the mathematical symbol, this example has been taken. I mean, when you represent like this, sometimes in the problem it will be given like this also. To make it clear, so in advance I have taken this, that is B is greater than C means A is the predecessor, B is the successor. So B is the predecessor, C is the successor, like that. D comma E are the predecessor activities. Only after completion of D comma E, C should happen. So like that, this is the logical relationship. So following this logical relationship, you can build the network. So what is the meaning of this? There is no predecessor for A, there is no predecessor for B, C. They are taken in series like. Fine. So then after C, no, D comma E we can take simultaneously. That's what we decided here. After C, D comma E. And after C, you can take F comma G also simultaneously. So this is the first node number, this is the last node number. You can see the beauty of the network. I mean, you can optimize the time here to the maximum extent. Why? D and D, they are saving your time. E, F and G also, they are taking parallelly. Hence, you can save the time. Whereas if you take like this, A, B, C, why you then okay, you may think I'll take A and B also simultaneously. No, sometimes it is not possible. Unless you complete a particular task, you cannot take a particular some other task like. So in such cases, you have to go in the series only. But wherever there is viability or feasibility, you can take them parallelly. You can build the network like this. Okay, D comma E, F comma G. So it will save time. For example, this takes 10 days, this takes 10 days. So as you're taking simultaneously by two different teams, so the optimization is done here. I mean, so within 10 days, you can complete D and E. So like that. Okay, you please do not be very particular about this terminology and all. Just okay, please try to understand what is the meaning of this mathematical relationship and how to build the network, or what is the meaning of flow diagram or network diagram or arrow diagram, how it will optimize the time or cost. Okay, so if you take everything in series, no, it will take more time. So whereas okay, wherever it is feasible or viable, we are taking them parallelly or concurrently, so based on the given data. So that's all about this session. So thank you one and all for your kind attention. I hope certainly you have met with the objectives that were defined, that is the basic outline of PERT and CPM, terms associated with PERT and CPM, construction of simple network diagrams. So have discussed in this session. Please take care and have a nice time.